My name is Ahias,
And I'm Joe.
and welcome back to Cozy Talks Part 7.
hmm
We appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching our videos. This week we got UFC 320 Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2 and Marab Dravishvili versus Corey the Sandman Sanhagen. I am very excited about this fight. How are you feeling, Joe?
It's gonna be an absolute banger of a card. Uh
100%.
yeah, I think this card's gonna get carried pretty heavy by the main card. Prelim's already kind of falling apart. Already got one fight canceled. Um, yeah, it happens. I'm hoping nothing else happens. Per card last week was a disaster with that. It was up to 16, and then out of nowhere it fell down to 12. So hopefully this card has a little bit more luck. With that being said, guys, like Z said, we appreciate you guys for being here. If you're new to the channel, leave a like, subscribe, share with some of your homies if they're in MMA. We're just like you guys. We love MMA. We love to bet on it. We love to watch it, and we actually, this channel was made to be something educational and also grow and be degenerate with. Uh,
Win some money, win some money.
Win some money. With that being said, guys, let's get into UFC 320. Get over these fights. First fight of the night, we got the women's flyweight. We got Veronica Hardy versus Brohan Walker. Mm, This is kind of a strange fight. Let's just go over it real quick. Hardy, she's a vet. She's been in all the way back to 2016. Which, if you look at her age, 29. 2016,
That's crazy.
puts her, right at about 21 years old. So she debuted really young, which is kind of an anomaly nowadays for the women's MMA like girls to be tenured that long. I feel like it's a lot of the young bloods nowadays. There's very few that are still in this promotion. Yeah, she's 4-5 in the promotion. She strung together 3 solid wins, as you can see here. She's off of a loss to Eduardo Mora, which is a pretty understandable loss. Eduardo Mora, I think she's 10-1. She's really good. I mean, she's 12-1 now. She's had a few fights since then, but she's really good on the ground. She's a crazy grappling woman. Other side, Brohan Walker. This kind of feels like a money fight for her. It's really weird that she's even on this pay per view because she hasn't fought in 2.5 years. Um, but yeah, she's 0-2. She was on the Ultimate Fighter. She made it to the finale, lost in the finale to Juliana Miller. Her best win in her career wasn't even in the UFC. It was a win over Miranda Maverick, back on the regional scene, which at the time kind of it was a great win at the time because you look at it now, Miranda Maverick, she's top of the top of this division. Um, but yeah, I don't see her getting it done in this fight. She's 36. Veronica Hardy, not even 30 yet. She's going to be 30 here soon. I think she's just going to be the more better all around. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take it on a money line. If I did touch this fight, it would be on the Veronica Hardy decision probably, which that's probably sitting pretty juice as well. I mean, that's my pick in this one.
Yeah. If I were to pick someone to win this fight, I got Veronica Hardy. Honestly, I've never seen either of these two female fighters fight before, or at least that I can recall.
Yeah, I
Um,
might have watched the JJ Aldrich, but I'd have to go watch tape
yeah,
on these other ones.
what 100%. Like I just can't recall any of these. Any maybe Veronica Hardy,
Mm,
but Walker, nah, she does not ring a bell at all. Um, Honestly, I don't have much on this fight.
yeah,
I'm not too impressed by these fighters. Uh, Honestly, Veronica Hardy, she most definitely has the better record, in my opinion,
mhm,
compared to a 36-year-old Brogan Walker.
yeah.
Um, but if I were to pick someone to win this fight, I got Veronica Hardy. If anything, I would possibly play this fight going the distance in a parlay piece. But that's my take on this fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably won't touch this fight at all, to be honest with you, because I feel like that's going to be the biggest angle here. Yeah, it might not be as anything that touches any of my cards that will go over on Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on. Next fight. I'm kind of excited for this fight. I feel like this could be a really fun fight. We got Ramiz
Mhm.
Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. Uh, my pick in this one is on Mr. Van Zant, Mr. Austin Vanderford. But let's go over the breakdown on it. So Brahimaj, he's a bit of a submission artist. He has 11 wins and 11 finishes in the first round, all by submission. He has been fraud checked a few times with losses to guys like Max Griffin and Court McGee a few years ago. Um, he is going to have a pretty heavy reach disadvantage, which is kind of important to note here because Austin Vanderford, he is also a pretty high level wrestler, but he also has the knockout power. I feel like Brahimaj, he got a knockout win um, against Mickey Gall, but when you look at Mickey Gall's record, it's kind of not a very impressive knockout win, but it kind of adds a little more of like another like tier to Ramiz Brahimaj's game because he's just known for being like a submission guy. But now we see him, being able to throw decent strikes, and he has a little bit of KO power now. But I think Vanderford's going to be able to stop the wrestling. We saw him last time out get the knockout win over Veretinnikov in Seattle. And he was just heavy on him. Yeah, he's just I think he's just got the advantage wherever. If he stays standing, I think Vanderford can outpoint him. If it goes to the ground, I think Vanderford can do enough to if he gets stopped, can right off control time, can get up. I see us going to a decision. Um, maybe a late round KO for Vanderford. He has been chinned a few times in Bellator, or once in Bellator, sorry, 3 years ago, which you look at it and it's not a terrible KO loss. So yeah, I feel pretty confident in this one. This isn't really one that I feel like needs a lot of overthinking, to be honest.
My pick here is Brahimaj.
Hmm. Why is that?
I'm just going with Brahimaj, bro. Um, Maybe I'm going on a whim here. I
You,
most definitely am going on a whim here.
you smell a submission, or
Um,
what are you thinking?
I just his money line, just Brahimaj money line. I do agree with you. I do think this fight could go to the distance.
Mhm.
Um, as powerful as Vanderford is, Brahimaj hasn't been finished since back in 2022.
Yeah,
One of them was being outside back in Bellator, and two of them being in Bellator. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong record. I apologize. I'm looking at the completely wrong record.
you're good. You're good.
Nah, only one of them being inside the UFC, but it was also kind of listed as an injury.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen that fight. I haven't seen that footage at all.
Mhm.
But like you were talking about, Brahimaj has a win over Mickey Gall, which honestly, I don't think that's too impressive. Because I mean, you go in like a Mickey Gall's record. Um,
He beat CM
is
Punk.
Yeah,
uh, yeah, but I mean, the win over Billy Ray Goff is it was a quick first round sub. Uh,
yeah.
but Billy Ray Goff
I
not too impressive. Just kind of low level prospect in my opinion.
100%. But I don't. I don't know. For some reason, I just think Vanderford is gonna be coming into this fight with a little bit of an ego. I don't know why I think that.
It's
I
because
can't
of his wife.
I can't tell you why I think that, but I feel like Vanderford is gonna be coming into this fight riding on a little bit of a high, and I think that is going to be his downfall. I mean, I can't tell you why I feel this way. That's just what I think,
It's just a Mystic
and
Z.
I guess so.
All right.
So
Well,
yeah, my pick is Brahimaj. I think he's gonna make this fight hard for Vanderford. I don't think I think see this is what I see is Vanderford coming into this fight thinking this fight is gonna be easy,
Mm,
but
yeah.
it's gonna be a lot harder. And I think Brahimaj possibly gets the win here by decision, but I'm just gonna take his money line because that's a nice dog play.
Yeah. Not bad. All right, let's go into the next fight on the prelims. We got Punahele Soriano and Nikolai Vertinikov. Uh, my pick in this one is on Soriano. Soriano, he's a guy from Hawaii. We've seen guys like that, Brad Tavares. They come in, they kind of got the heavy stone chin. Not really Tavares. I mean, he kind of does. He can take a punch, but not to guys who have that death touch. But he's thick. Funahele does throw some concrete hands. I've seen a few of his highlights. The dude is just a pressure based fighter. He'll come at you with overhands and just fucking. He's looking to get the KO. But yeah, his left hand. He fights southpaw. His left hand is his weapon for sure. Um, I'm not really sure how well he's going to be on the ground, which I think might be the angle for Veretinnikov here. If he wants to stay in this fight and not get knocked out, I think he's going to need to wrestle. We saw Veretinnikov, like we said, we just talked about his loss to Vanderford in the last fight right there. Yeah, Veretinnikov. I mean, he has a lot of KOs on his record. He fought back on the Dana White Contender Series against soon to be title challenger Michael Morales, eventual. But yeah, he went back to the regional scene and then he came up, fought Vanderford in his UFC debut. Was that right? No, he fought Danny Barlow and lost to Danny Barlow on a
Yeah,
split. But Danny Barlow we know for having KO power as well. This is another fight. I think we're probably gonna get another decision here. But I think Soriano is gonna be he's gonna be the pressure based fighter. Bertinikov's only chance here is to probably just try and wrestle him and tire him out. Uh, Other than that, I think Soriano can do enough on the feet, and I'm hoping he has decent wrestling to be able to stay off his back, maybe work a decent get up game. But yeah, I trust Soriano to get it done here.
yeah. My pick here is Punahili. I think he's live for a possible finish here too. I think Puna could avoid some of that grappling coming his way from Nikolai. I think Puna can win this fight, but I do agree with you. Um, maybe Puna rocks Nikolai a little bit,
Yeah,
and then Nikolai just hug fucks him against the cage.
yeah,
Finds a way to take it to the decision.
yeah. We saw him
Uh,
somehow get that split win over Prado his last time out. I remember watching
yeah,
that, and I felt like Prado won that. If I'm being honest with you.
100%. I was looking back at some of the scorecards, and yeah, it was a little questionable. I think the third round though most definitely gave it to Nikolai,
Yeah.
just based off the numbers.
Mm.
But see, that's that's a possibility here too. Because Nikolai does have a little bit of that striking,
Mm.
and if he gets overwhelmed with that, he'll find you up against the cage where he could hold you there for a little bit. Get that control time,
Yeah.
get some clinch striking in.
Yeah. 100%.
But my pick here is Soriano, and I think Soriano could knock his ass out.
Moving on. Oh man. There we go. We got Apache Mex versus Jakub Wicklocks. Uh,
Who the fuck is that guy?
he's making his debut. He's from
Who is
KSW.
this guy, bro?
Uh,
The
my,
only okay, hold on. The only reason why I'm reacting that way and saying that is because he's fighting Patchy Mech,
on the
like
prelims.
on the prelim.
Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of like I feel like this is kind of what they do for the debut guys, the guys who they want to be a big name in this promotion. Whenever they disappoint, we saw it with Pitbull. They fed him to the top of the division. Not really saying Mario Batista's there. I mean, he's close. I think he is kind of there because he's fighting Umar in his next fight. But uh, it's a big fight. obviously. But this fight for Patchy Mix feels kind of like it's served on a platter for him. Feels kind of like it's like their bounce back fight for him. They're like, we expect you to win this. We're giving you a guy who has a lot of submissions on his record. You just got fucking your head boxed off. You look like a heavy bag out there against Mario Batista. Um, you're like one of the Bellator goats. Um, you know, I think from the angle of that though, Patchy Mix, I expect him to get a win here and actually find a submission. I think Patchy Mix will be able to outstrike him on the feet. He has decent kicks. He can stay long and make Yakub have to come into him. Pause. But I think he's gonna have to, come in, find a clinch, try and work a ground game here. But I don't think you want to go to the ground with a guy like Patchy Mix. The dude's a submission ace. He's a freak on the ground. He has 12 wins on the ground by submission. Yakub on the other side, maybe it's just Jacob. Maybe I'm just totally just trying to fucking be cool with it. Maybe it's just Jacob. I'll just call him Jacob. Jakub. But Jacob on the other side, he does have submissions on the ground as well. I think he has, what was it, 11? So, or 10? Yeah, 10. So this might end up just being a fight that plays out on the feet for all we know. Who knows if these guys even want to test the grappling, because they both seem pretty proficient on the ground. We might just be seeing like a high level wrestling match here. And I definitely favor the side of Patchy Mix in this one to get it done. And I think he's gonna find a submission. However, if he ends up in any sort of mount or ends up in any sort of advantageous position on the ground. So yeah, give me Patchy Mix with the bounce back spot here.
Patchy Mix needs to do something huge. He needs to find that finish in round one. They're giving this guy who is coming from the KSW and he's coming off of over a year layoff from his last fight. If Patchy Mix does not find a win here and does not find a finish here, get him out of the
Get
UFC,
out.
bro, because this is the biggest this is, in my opinion, the biggest layup fight for a dude who was riding a lot of hype coming into the UFC. A
Yeah.
lot of hype coming into the UFC.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe Patchy Mix needs to do something big here. And I believe it's putting out this guy in round one or before round three, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If this fight sees around three, I mean,
That's a win for for
uh,
for for, for Jakub. If this dude makes it to the scorecard somehow.
yeah, I mean that's just coming off over a year layoff against a dude who made a lot of noise in his previous organization, Bellator,
Yeah.
the champion in Bellator, has finishes underneath his belt.
Hmm.
I don't know.
So your
This
pick
should be a
Mix.
walk. This yeah, my pick is Patchy Mix. This should be a walk in the park for Patchy Mix.
I'm hoping so.
So I'm really hoping so as well. But that's my opinion on that fight.
All right. Moving on, we got another women's fight. We got the bantamweight girls going at it, Macy Chiasson and Yana Santos. I had to really look into this one because I felt like there was a potential dog shot here, but I really like the side of Macy Chiasson, and that's who I'm on in this one is Macy. Uh, I like her stand up game. She throws powerful strikes. She has a bit of a Muay Thai game. She had a doctor stoppage win where she just totally gashed that chick open with fucking elbows. It was which one was it? Yeah, this one against Myra Beno Silva. Totally just gashed her up. I remember Dana White posting a picture of it, and her
Oh yeah.
fucking her face was just fucked up.
Which is
Uh
crazy. So I just want to say something real quick.
yeah.
I compare all these doctor stoppages to when Irene Aldana fought Norma Dumont.
Yeah.
All these doctor stoppages are bullshit compared to that fight. If you
Yeah.
don't know, Joe, please just pull up the picture real quick. No. I'm just talking about like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
you could just do it. You could just do it now since,
I'll do it
yeah,
up this side real quick, so I can just show it.
yeah.
Irene
Oh, my
Aldana.
camera, my camera disappeared.
Oh, sorry. I'll do it on this one. There we go. Irene Aldana injury. Maybe. It won't even show it, bro. Look at that.
They're all censored.
Well, here's kind of a decent one you can look at.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
just
wish you could.
this is
Oh,
off
here we go.
topic. This is off
Oh,
topic,
that
but
blurred it.
I just
It's
want to
gross
say
enough that
like
they're gonna blur it. Maybe I got to turn up.
it's come
Is it my save? Oh, there we go. Oh, yep, there we go.
and
There
that
we
fight went the
go.
distance.
Ugh.
That fight went to the judges' scorecards.
Ugh.
So I just want to say that real quick.
You're good. Yeah, but Macy, she was a Ultimate Fighter finale winner back in 2018. She's been pretty successful in the bantamweight division. She has an 8-4 record in the promotion. Like I said, she has a pretty strong Muay Thai game, and she has really good wrestling. On the other side, you got Yana Santos. She's coming off of a win over Misha Tate. Misha Tate was on, I think, a little bit over a year layoff before she came back into the promotion. And Misha Tate was pretty close to getting a win. Late in the third, she was, in a dominant wrestling position, but couldn't get it done. She was down 2-0 on the scorecards and needed a finish and couldn't get the finish. Yeah, Yana Santos, she has really good boxing. So that's kind of really it. Her wrestling is kind of her weakness. She's been finished a few times on the ground. Yeah, I think Macy kind of just has a better all around game here. And I expect her to bounce back with a win. This one, I don't know. I mean, I might be leaning on a Macy Chiasson KO angle here. A little club on the ground and pound here. I kind of like that because Macy is brutal. If she's gonna rain down 12-6 elbows on your forehead on the ground, you're kind of just fucked. Yeah, that's my angle
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I agree with you. Macy Chasen, she's violent.
Mm-hmm.
100%, she's violent. Uh, it's weird though, because if you wanna look at this fight and play MMA math, Yana Santos did beat Caitlin Vieira, and Macy Chasen just lost to Caitlin Vieira.
Was this an older
So
fight?
this was an old
Older.
fight. Yeah, Yana Santos fought Caitlin Vieira back in 2021,
Oh yeah.
and Caitlin Vieira just fought Macy Chasen, and
No, don't play MMA math. Don't do it. Don't do it.
beat Macy Chasen. So technically,
John Santos
by
is
MMA math,
the champion of the division.
yeah, technically Yana Santos wins here, but I don't believe in that shit. I believe in watching fighters and seeing their skills in the octagon. And Macy Chasen, I think she most definitely has more than enough skills here to put Yana Santos down. Uh, and I mean down and out.
Yeah.
I think Macy Chasen is live for a possible finish.
Yeah.
Her boxing is just really clean, and like you were talking about, her grappling is even cleaner. She has some pretty nasty ground and
Mm-hmm.
pound strikes. Those elbows you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yana Santos. I'm just gonna be honest, bro. I'm just be honest. I think this fight, we're gonna see some levels in this fight, and hopefully it's coming from Macy Chasen,
Yeah.
which is my pick in this fight. So
I like it. Moving on to the next fight in the prelims, we got this is a fun fight, dude. I'm actually thinking this fight is gonna be maybe fight of the night potential. I don't know though. It's gonna be one of performance of the night. So I feel like we've got Daniel Santos versus Ju Sang Yu, aka Korean McGregor. No, I mean this dude's crazy. I mean, he did beat on a total can and Jika Sergi. But he is my pick in this one. I am right on Ju Sang Yu as my pick. Let's go over it. Santos, he was on a bit of a layoff amidst his 3-win streak. And his last time out, he dominated Jiang Yang Li, totally outstriking and controlling him. He is a guy that trains out of Shootbox, Diego Lima. Those guys are known for their, for their jujitsu. Guys are known for, being heavy on the wrestling. On the other side, Ju Sang Yu, he's it's kind of weird to see him as a dog being 9-0. But I think it's because they maybe think he lacks the ground game against a guy who trains at, shoot box. Um,
Yeah.
he has heavy kicks, he's got heavy hands. Obviously, we saw him pull off a counter hook on Jekka, pulled back, and it was very McGregor esque the way he did it. Totally just made him eat the mat. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have the clear advantage on the feet, and if he's able to survive the onslaught of takedowns coming back from Daniel Santos, I think he may as well also find a finish. But I think he can at least win 2 rounds here if he's able to survive the takedowns and keep it on the feet. I expect his striking to just be more impactful. I expect his combinations to come out longer. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that he is the underdog. I feel like by the end of the week, these odds are going to flip. I think this is going to be one that a lot of people are going to bite on, and I'm kind of one of them. You look at the reach. This kind of plays totally into the favor of a striker who's longer, and we just saw him come off a counter punch knockout. He's going to be longer. The other guy has the shorter reach. He's going to have to come in to get into his reach. I mean, just like think about that, right? You got a guy who can blitz on his feet, stays light on his feet. He's able to bounce off, get off the center line, and just find you. So I feel like that might be one of the angles here. Maybe we see another knockout finish. But knocking out Daniel Santos is kind of a hard thing to do. Um,
He hasn't been finished.
yeah. So I'd be very shocked if he did it, but I wouldn't be surprised because Ju Sang Yu is kind of a nasty striker. I think it'd be awesome to see another Korean prospect come up the rankings here.
Yeah, I am right there with you. I'm riding on Ju Sang Yu.
Yeah.
I'm riding on that hype train 100%. And I think it's gonna be 8-0 come fight night. We saw Yu win in his last fight by that brutal, clean flash
Clean.
knockout finish.
Yeah.
Uh, he has some crazy knockout power and really good striking. This guy's a counter artist.
Mhm.
Willie Cat though, he's a solid dog, dude. He's very good well around, and like we just said, he hasn't been finished in his UFC career at all.
Mhm.
Um, I think Ju Sang Yu is gonna, like you were saying, Daniel Santos, he has a smaller reach. He's gonna have to get inside, and I see Ju Sang Yu just countering him, and with a knee, some uppercut.
Yeah.
I just think Ju Sang Yu is gonna be, he's gonna be keeping his distance, managing, and he's just gonna be that longer fighter. He's gonna be able to stay outside from Willie Cat,
Yeah.
be able to get in there, get his shots in, wait for Willie Cat to come in, find some counter shot.
Yeah.
I got Ju Sang Yu all day, and like you said, it'd be crazy to see him be the first person to finish, put Willie Cat out. That'd be insane to see.
Yeah. No kidding.
So I might sprinkle a little bit on that, but overall, Ju Sang Yu. I think Ju Sang Yu can get it done.
Yeah. All right. Ju Sang Yu on the pick. Let's move into the next fight. We got Farid Basharat versus Chris Gutierrez. This is Farid Basharat, not David or Javid, however you say it. I think it's Javid Basharat. That's his brother.
Yeah.
Farid is clearly the better brother at 13-0. Javid we saw get put to sleep at Seattle. I think that was Javid, right? Ricky Simone fucking smoked him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we saw him. He's lost 2 fights. I can't remember what the other fight was. He lost another fight, I'm pretty sure. Farid, obviously 13-0. He is, he's definitely a prospect to keep your eye on in the bantamweight division. Basharat, he won a contract on Dana White Contender Series. He beat other prospects and other vets who had some pretty great records. He has a pretty good track record. He has great wrestling. He also has really good kickboxing, and he has a submission game. So he's kind of the well-rounded guy that you would see with a record like this. I think he's gonna have a lot more winning potential wherever this fight goes. Gutierrez, he is a pretty clean striker. He throws a lot of kicks. He's kind of this big kickboxer. He likes to be more technically sound. Um, he does as well also have a bit of a high level grappling. I don't know if I would call it high level, but he does have the grappling in his back pocket. Um, he does have the ability to win by submission, but I don't think that's going to be possible in this one. I just feel like this is kind of like the coming out party for Farid here. I think a win here is going to get him where he needs to be. I mean, like you look how far away Topology has these rankings for the bantamweights. I mean, this is kind of like the you're up next, kid. This is the fight. I think that's going to get Farid in his ranked shot. Gutierrez, he's beaten some decent guys. Um, he lost to Song Yadong, which is understandable. Song Yadong is fucking right there for the top of the rankings. Probably soon to be a title challenger. Depending on how his next fight plays out, he doesn't have a fight announced yet. But he has a win over Alatang Haley, an okay win. Has a win over Kwang Lee. We just saw Kwang Lee get put out by Border Boy. Can't think of his name. Back in Noche, we saw John Castaneda fight Gutierrez, and Castaneda I thought was going to win this one. I remember we obviously didn't have this channel back then during this one, but this was one that I remember talking to you about and feeling like Castaneda was going to get a win here, but obviously didn't. So yeah, I mean, I think Farid just has the potential to get this done inside the distance. I'm kind of hoping he does, being a minus 400 against a guy with a lot of vet experience with a 22-5 record. He's been in the UFC a while. Kind of scares me a bit, but I don't think Farid's gonna get fraud checked anytime soon. At this point, it wouldn't even be a fraud check. I feel like this would just be a loss to learn from if he did lose here, but I don't think it's gonna happen in this one.
I think it is gonna happen.
Really,
I think
you're on it.
Bashrat. I think Bashrat. I don't necessarily say he's going to get fraud checked. I don't think he's going to get fraud checked.
Yeah.
I do think he's going to get checked here.
Mm.
And the reason why is because I'm looking at Bashrat's record, and he is undefeated still. But you look at a lot of the dudes that he fought in the UFC. I mean, he fought Damon Blackshear real early on in Damon Blackshear's career,
Yeah.
and a lot of these other dudes are one in a couple of fights into the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, and this is Bashrat's first fight with the real UFC vet,
Yeah.
a dude who's been in there for a long time.
Mm.
And is still winning fights.
Mm.
And he's not that old either. He's 34 years old, Chris Gutierrez, and like you were talking about, he has some crazy kicking.
Mm.
Um, I went back and watched that fight with Vince Morales when he just tore up his legs.
That the
You
fight he
know,
had like 50 kicks in.
yeah, I'm
Like
pretty sure.
I remember reading one of his fights on the ESPN, and I was just like, holy shit, dude! Like this guy just mauls with his
They're just
legs.
yeah, they were just his legs were just welted up. So I mean, I'm just going based off of that.
Oh,
Honestly, I mean, Basharat's been fighting other prospects
yeah.
who've been in the UFC for a couple of fights in, even their first fight in. Um, I think it'll be a real tough fight for Basharat, and or yeah, I think it'll be a real tough fight for Basharat.
Mm.
But you know, maybe I'm clueless on this. Uh, but if Gutierrez can keep away from the grappling and maybe some of the possible takedowns coming his way, um, I think Gutierrez can win this fight,
Yeah.
and I think uh, I think the vet can get it done. So that's honestly my dog shot
Okay.
on this card. I got
Do you have
Chris
it by
Gutierrez.
decision? You think? Do you think it would have to be
No,
on the
I'm just
scorecards?
I think it'll maybe go to decision.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really I think it can be a really close fight.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, who knows? Maybe Gutierrez shows him one of those kicks, and Basharat is just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who knows? But my money is on Chris Gutierrez. I'm going with the UFC vet. It's crazy to me that, I mean, I understand it. Basharat being 13-0.
Mhm.
He's he's been putting down a lot of these other up and comers.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's been real early on in their careers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure when he fought Demon Blackshear, uh, that was
It was 2.5 years ago.
that was exactly though. You know, I mean, that was Blackshear's second fight in. Even his recent fight against Victor Hugo.
Yeah, Hugo has a lot,
I
lot,
mean,
lot of fights on his record, but he was considered a prospect in that fight. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I mean, Hugo, you know, won his fight 2023 in Contender Series,
Hmm.
went and fought again in 2024, and then fought Basharat in 2024. That was technically his third fight in the UFC, you
Yeah,
know, and then loses to Basharat, and then loses his next fight, and then I mean, even before that, Tyler Lapilus,
yeah.
who
He's not even
isn't
in the
even,
UFC.
yeah, he's not even in the UFC anymore.
Hmm.
Um, you know, his first two fights in the UFC both got canceled. Came in 2023, won by decision, and then his second fight, Basharat.
Yeah,
Second fight in the UFC was Basharat.
yeah.
You know, regardless of him having a record before that, and he was in the UFC prior to this, but that's all the way back in 2015. I mean, this guy's been around for a while,
Yeah.
you know, and obviously, I don't know. I don't know. I just think Basharat, you know, fighting these dudes who don't have as much experience as a vet like Chris Gutierrez,
Mm.
and Chris Gutierrez being such a heavy vet and such a heavy underdog. Yeah, I'm putting my money on the vet. So give me Chris Gutierrez here,
All right.
and that's my piece for this fight.
I like it. Next fight. This is our featured prelim. Got Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz. This is
I'm
a
excited for Edmund Shabazian, bro.
I like him. He's on the up and up again. You know, he's back on his streak, and that's the thing I want to talk about. He has been a pretty streaky fighter in the UFC. He lost 3 in a row at one point, but he also lost to like a prime Derek Brunson, lost to Jack Hermanson, and he also lost to Nasruddin Imavov in that 3 fight losing streak. You know, he lost to some guys that were fucking excellent or were on their way to being excellent fighters. He has 11 KOs and 12 finishes all in the first round. He's on a 2 fight win streak, like we just talked about, over Dylan Budka and Andre Petrosky, who we just saw fight on UFC Perth. Andre Petrosky is kind of my way of working into this fight because Andre Muniz kind of has a similar fighting style. A guy who's heavy on the submissions, heavy on the wrestling. He's just going to pressure takedowns and just be in your grill. We're trying to get you down. Basically, that's his whole game plan. And this one, I feel like he's gonna want to avoid the KO power because Muniz, he's been on a good streak. You know, he has also lost to decent fighters. He lost to Paul Craig and a Brendan Allen. Younger. I think it was what it wasn't that long ago. It was 2 years ago, and then a little over 2.5 years ago. Um, Andre Muniz though, he has the glass chin, man. The guy has been KO'd by the fucking you touch the dude's chin. I mean, I remember we were watching that Ikram versus Andre Muniz fight, and Ikram like I felt like I don't know if he like fucking clipped him on the temple or what, but it looked like the most like light fucking punch, and it put Muniz out. It was a really weird thing to watch. It was almost like the dude took a flop. But yeah, I mean, his chin's obviously gone, and that's my angle in this one. I think Shabazian, as long as he can survive the grappling onslaught, which I expect him to do, because he was in there with Andre Petrosky and he got the decision win over Petrosky. Um, I expect him to work hard here and put Muniz out. Shabazian's a guy that he trains hard. He's always improving. Hopefully this is a streak that carries him into the rankings. He won't get anywhere near the rankings with this fight, to be fair, just because it's Muniz, and Muniz, he's off of a loss, and then he had a win, then 2 losses. But it's a win that's going to put him in the right direction, especially with the finish here. This is why it's the featured prelim, because I think this is the guy they want. They want to have a bit of stock in. So give me Shabazian by KO here.
I'm gonna go on another win here.
I'll do it.
I'm just kidding. I got the golden boy winning here, Edmund Shabazian. Just to add on to pretty much everything you just said, it is really crazy to see Shabazian be only 27 and a lot of his fights being in the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy has a lot of experience at such a young age. Like you said, he was fighting in prime Derek Brunson. You know, fought Nazardine and Anthony Hernandez. Um, lost to GM3. Um, I think Shabazian has just learned a lot, and I would hope he has learned a lot. Coming from those losses.
Yeah.
Given how young he is,
Mhm.
I totally agree with you. I think Edmund is very live for a finish here. Um, I think this will be another small test for Edmund Shabazian. I think he's close to, especially coming off these two wins here. I think he's closer. I think he's getting closer to a top 15 shot, maybe.
Mhm.
But give me Edmund Shabazian winning here, and I see a possible finish coming from Edmund Shabazian
Yeah.
by knockout. Like you were saying, if he can, and I think he will most definitely. Um, Avoid the takedowns, the grappling, whatever Munoz tries to do. And I think Shabazian will find a early finish.
Yeah. I like it.
That's my pick here.
I like it. Moving up the card, open up the main card. We get Mr. Joseph Body Bags Piper versus Abus Magomedov. Oh man, Joe Piper is one of my favorite fighters in the middleweight division. This is a guy that I feel like I have a lot of stock in the middleweight division. I feel like he can make a lot of noise, and no better way to do it than by adding another victim to your knockout list here. Uh, Joe Piper, I think he learned a lot from that loss to Jack Hermanson back in that main event. Um, he was on a pretty good streak there. Came in, kind of ate a bit of humble pie. Uh, the dude trains hard in Philadelphia. He has great boxing. He fucking if it was anyone other than Kelvin Gastelum in that last fight, that it would have been a knockout. But Kelvin Gastelum's got the blockhead. He's got the fucking cinder block for a skull. Uh,
Well, actually, I'm not gonna lie. If Joe Piper were, if I mean, like the first few times Joe Piper knocked down Kevin Gastelum, if he had followed him instead of wanting to continue it on the feet,
uh
Joe Piper could have finished that fight, in my opinion. But he wanted that like flash knockout,
yeah,
whatever.
the walk off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing people may not know about Joe Pfeiffer is he is a pretty high level grappler. He partakes in grappling matches outside of the UFC. So we know that he is pretty well versed on the ground. He also has a really good cardio, which is an important thing to note in this fight. Because now we're gonna flip the coin here and talk about Abus Magomedov. Abus has 3 wins in a row right now. And then he had 2 losses to guys who were top of the middleweight division, to Sean Strickland and Kyle Borhaio. His last time out was against Michel Pereira, which wasn't the Michel Pereira that we know nowadays. I mean, the dude just looks lost. We just saw him get clipped and knocked out by Kyle Dawkins back in Shanghai. And I don't know if you hear the cats or not, they're going crazy. But yeah, he has some pretty dangerous hands. Abus does have some hands. He has a bit of grappling as well, but his problem is the conditioning, the thing that I was just talking about. He has been a pretty notorious gasser. That win over Michel Pereira, that third round kind of looked like a bar fight. Kind of just slugging it out. Both guys just trying to survive right off the points. Yeah, I expect Pfeiffer to get a knockout here. I expect him to just push the pace, maybe work some of the grappling. Maybe it's going to be a club and sub, but I don't see this going the distance. I think Pfeiffer wants to make a name for himself here, and this is a big fight for him. So yeah, give me Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I I don't see this fight going the distance at all, and I think it's gonna be Joe Pyfer by KO. Like you were talking about, Joe Pyfer, like we were just talking about, Joe Pyfer was literally inches away from putting Kevin Gastelum out. And
Mm-hmm.
I look at a boost. I don't see any way of a boost possibly outstriking Joe Pyfer, being able to hold him down, being able to outpace Joe Pyfer, being outgas Joe Pyfer. I mean, at the end of the day, that's just my honest opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but give me Joe Pyfer. Give me Joe Pyfer by knockout here.
I like it. Let's move on to the next fight. Now we're starting to get into the bangers. Like I said, the main card I feel like is going to carry this shit heavy. We get a banger of a fight here. Um, Although I do feel like it's going to be pretty one sided. Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. My pick is Yusuf Zalal. On one side we got Josh Emmett, 40 years old, but he's like Jeremy Stevens, man. He's not a dude you count out. He's got the death touch in his hands. We just saw him, you know, in his second to last fight, put Bryce Mitchell into a stroke, like seizing on the ground, violent knockout. The dude has a just like Kelvin Gastelum, who we were just talking about. Josh Emmett is a dude who also has a pretty glass or a granite chin. He's been to the distance with Ilia Topuria. He was 10-7 to be fair, but Josh Emmett, his game is pretty heavy on the boxing. He's definitely a heavy boxer. Um, but he's been in the top of the featherweight division for a long time. Um, he is live for a knockout here because it is Josh Emmett and he has that fucking heavy right hand. But on the other side we got Yusuf Zalal. He's been in the UFC before. In that run, he went 3-3. If you want to play MMA math, which isn't really gonna do us any good here, Yusuf Zalal also lost at Lee Taporia by decision. But kind of like how you feel with like Gene Silva and Kevin Vallejos is kind of how I feel about Yusuf Zalal and Ilia Topuria. It's like the one that got away because that was kind of what Yusuf Zalal talked about in one of his after fight post interviews was he wanted to come up and get his get back on Ilya, but Ilya's gone now. Ilya's up at lightweight, so now it's just Yusuf making a run for the belt. Yusuf Zalal is a pretty elusive striker. He's fucking really hard to track down. He has some high level submission games. He has a lot of rear naked choke wins. I think he strung her like 3 in a row, 4 in a row or some shit. Yeah, he's just all over the place. And he came off a win over Calvin Kattar where he was up 2-0. And that third round was kind of just like somehow scored for Calvin Kattar, where he basically was just kind of chasing Yusuf around and missing a lot of strikes, but it was just more like the volume game. Uh, yeah, I think Josh Emmett's gonna have a hard time finding Yusuf in this fight. Josh Emmett, like I said, he's pretty heavy on the boxing, and if he's having to constantly track down Yusuf here, and if Yusuf's just gonna poke and prod and get away with a lot of shit, then I think he's just gonna outpoint Josh in this one, and I think it'll be a 29-28 or a 30-27. Maybe Yusuf can find a submission because that is something that we have seen happen. Josh Emmett, when he was fighting for the interim belt against Yair, got choked out via triangle. So I know maybe that's the angle here. Maybe Yusuf by sub, and it'd be a big win for Yusuf here. It would definitely get him into title eliminator conversations or top five.
Yeah. Um. Honestly, I don't know who to pick in this fight. I'm a huge, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Yusuf Zalal. He is. I mean, you got to go with a dude like that, especially with this streak that he got going on right now,
Mhm.
returning to the UFC. He's returning to the UFC. He is 4-0. Prior to that, he won 5 other fights. Leaving the UFC. Um, But I'm a huge Josh Emmett fan. I love Josh Emmett. Um, at 40 years old, bro, he still got that dog in him, dude, and he still has that insane power in his hands.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. It will be a little bit of a cat and mouse fight
Yeah.
with Josh kind of chasing around Yusef Zoal, trying to catch him. Um, but I mean, there's always that chance, or that
It just
chance.
takes
Josh Emmett
one.
backs him up. It just takes one, bro. It just takes one. Catches Yusef Zoal.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing too is Josh Emmett. He got crazy strength.
Hmm.
I know Yusef Zoal. He's a good wrestler. He's a good grappler. Uh, I don't know.
I would hate to have
I see
Josh Emmett
this.
on top of me.
I would hate to have Josh Emmett on top of me too.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. He's small and he is strong.
Mm.
You know, I do see this fight going the distance. But another thing too is like you look at Emmett's record. You know, just fought Leon Murphy half a year ago. Leon Murphy's possibly about to fight for the title. Uh, Brutal knockout over Mitchell. Fought Yair, Ilya. I mean, Yair and Ilya, bro, they're top five.
Yeah. It doesn't get any more high level than that.
You know what I mean? Josh Emmett's been fighting high level dudes. I don't think this fight will be easy for Zalal. I don't think it'll be easy for him at all.
Yeah. No.
I don't think Emmett's washed. I don't think I don't think he's also a fighter that you should be overlooking here either.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? We just saw a fight where Neil Magny was a plus 300 underdog. His fighter was a minus 380 favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Josh Emmett does some crazy comeback because I don't think it'll be kind of one sided like that.
I think this will be a fight that we can post up spots on live betting.
100%.
I think, if we see a 2-0 for Zalal, I may end up sprinkling like a quarter unit or something tiny on Josh Emmett just because he will be having to chase the finish here. And it'd be, what other way to have some entertainment than fucking rooting for, the comeback win for a 40-year-old Josh Emmett?
Yeah. I mean, maybe even playing a vet underdog two leg here, Chris Gutierrez, Josh Emmett.
Yeah. It's
I
Unk
mean,
League, dude.
yeah. So I gotta go with Josh Emmett, bro. I
Yeah.
I gotta go with Josh Emmett.
Fair
I think
enough.
this fight will be a lot closer than people think. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, this guy being a minus 390. I mean, like, bro, you just fought a wash, Calvin Cater.
Yeah. Calvin Carter's on his way out for sure.
But I mean, before that though, like you're doing exactly what you need to do coming back into the UFC, finish after finish after finish.
Yeah.
And go to decision with a vet. You're not gonna finish Josh Emmett though.
Yeah, I think sub's the only angle here. I mean, there's no way you're knocking out Josh Emmett. The dude got
Mm,
10-7 by Ilya Taporia, and Ilya Taporia fucking boxed his head off.
Yeah. So
Nah.
Yusuf's all gassing out. Yusuf's all gassing out. Josh Emmett just overcoming. Josh Emmett just overcoming.
Yeah,
Give me Josh Emmett money line. Chris Gutierrez match that two up for a nasty two legger. There you go.
like it.
There's my second dog for the week. Josh Emmett.
All right, we're on to the third from the last fight. This is a
Okay.
dude. All right.
Before we start, hold on. Before we start, these next three fights, these are going to be back to back to back. And I hope you guys are going to be watching. And I hope you have your beer, your pizza, your wings, whatever the fuck you have. I hope you are ready because this is about to be fireworks 100%. I am super excited for these next three fights.
Dude, I'll let you go first. Who do you got in this one?
As Man, I just want to say one thing. Khalil Roundtree, huge inspiration, bro. Huge inspiration. A guy like Khalil Roundtree, knowing where he's come from, what he has overcame, and his story is just you could put that in a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy was young, he was depressed, saw a billboard of a UFC fight and was just like, I gotta do that. So Khalil Roundtree, as much as I love you, brother, I got Jerry Prohaska winning this fight. Uh Jerry Prohaska. Jerry Prohaska just does what Jerry Prohaska is. Oh, dude, Jerry Prohaska has only lost to Alex Pereira. He's only lost to Alex Pereira in his last 5 fights.
Yeah.
And Jerry Prohaska, every time he comes out, he is always looking for some crazy, crazy knockout. This dude is just nuts, bro. He is nuts. You know, uh, and based off of Roundtree's last performance with Jamal Hill, I don't I don't know. I don't know, bro. I thought there was gonna be a little bit more violence in it, especially coming off of his streak,
Yeah.
Khalil Roundtree's streak, and
Mm.
that he lost, but I mean that fight with Alex Pereira was a straight war,
Yeah.
and then he goes and takes Jamal Hill to decision. I mean, yeah, Jamal Hill was fucking fucked up and, you know, completely torn up, but I was expecting to see more out of Khalil Roundtree in that fight when it came to him versus Jamal Hill. And I think when he meets Yuri, he better be fucking ready for the complete opposite of that fight because Jerry is not Jamal Hill. Jerry will not be hesitant. Jerry will not be patient. Jerry will be fucking all over you. And as soon as he sees that he has you hurt, he's going to chase you down and he's going to try to find you, and he
Yeah.
will find you and he'll get on top of you, he'll get in front of you. Yeah, Jerry is a warrior. If we have ever seen a warrior in the UFC, Jerry is him. If you've seen some of the crazy shit that Jerry does outside of fighting, standing underneath waterfalls and just screaming into the sky, or running around into the snow in his underwear and just fucking screaming at the top of his lungs. This guy is a warrior. One thing he says that he does is he locks himself in a room for 24 hours before his fights so that so he could be mentally prepared for his fights. Jerry Prohaska is a warrior. I've said that I don't know how many times, but yeah,
Yeah.
I had to give my honors. I had to give my props to Khalil Roundtree, but Jerry Prohaska, man, this guy is a fucking monster. So I think this will be a fucking banger of a fight, and I am hoping Khalil Roundtree is going to be prepared for the onslaught that Jerry is going to be bringing it, because neither of these guys wrestle. I've never seen either of these guys wrestle. I've seen them grapple a little bit here and there. They are dominant strikers, but I'm I don't I I just hope Khalil Roundtree's fucking prepared, bro, because like I said, dude, Jerry is no slouch. He is no fucking Jamal Hill. And he
Yeah.
will, no matter how hurt Jerry is either. That's another thing as well. Jerry can get hit with a fucking ton of bricks and he will still try to come after you.
Yeah.
So, and Jerry being the taller dude, longer reach. Yeah, dude, Khalil Rountree's gonna have to get in there. He's gonna have to try to do something. Khalil Roundtree tries to throw leg kicks. Jerry's gonna be there with his reach. I don't know, man. One thing though, this fight's not going the distance. I really hope it doesn't go the distance.
I'll be hella
Khalil
sad.
Roundtree, Khalil Roundtree might try to get it to go the distance. Jerry, nah. Jerry is a fucking killer, bro.
Yeah.
Jerry is kill or be killed. So give me Jerry Prohaska. Give me Jerry Prohaska by knockout.
All right.
Or submission. That would be insane. He submitted Teixeira. He submitted Teixeira. Imagine him hurting Khalil Roundtree. Her bad, hurting Khalil Roundtree bad. Khalil Roundtree's on his knees. Jerry Prohaska just gets on top of him, just cranks that neck.
Cinema.
Jerry Prohaska inside the distance. That's my pick here.
All right. Yeah, my breakdown on this fight, just to build off of yours, Yuri Prohaska, he's been the Chad of the light heavyweight division. He is the essence of Chad. He will get hurt and just keep on coming. He's a fucking zombie. Even when you knock him out, he still thinks he's in the fight. His kryptonite is a man by the name of Alex Pereira. He's fought him twice for the belt. He's lost twice, both by knockout. I mean, Yuri Prohaska, he has 30 finishes in his career. 27 of those are knockout. He was a rising champ. He is just a fucking warrior. He has some of the best striking in the light heavyweight division. He has, I mean, it's not even necessarily power. He just has the right sequencing and just knows how to hurt you, and he will hurt you bad. You know, we saw him get his legs chopped out. That's kind of Yuri's weakness, is his legs will always get fucking bruised and battered, but he will walk through the pain and just hunt you down. Other side, we got Khalil Roundtree. Like you said, he's an inspiration. He was a guy who was, heavily overweight, found his way back into fighting, super depressed. He built himself from the ground up. Yeah, he's an inspiration, 100%. I agree with you. He found himself fighting for the belt at one point, and he was on a crazy streak for a while. Lost to no one else other than Alex Pereira, but I will say he 100% out of these two fighters gave Alex Pereira the run for his money. He had him going. You probably could have scored it 1 or 2 rounds for Khalil. It was close, and then Alex Pereira just ends up in flow state, and then just gets the win. Khalil Roundtree goes out on a sword. Khalil Roundtree is the embodiment of Muay Thai. He has vicious elbows, vicious knees. He's disgusting. He will use every piece of his body to hurt you. If I'm gonna play matchmaker in this one, if I'm Carlos Ulberg, I'm probably rooting for Khalil Roundtree, because Khalil is on a bit of a weirder path here. I don't think he would get a rematch, because we got to look at it from the title perspective of the main event. If I'm Carlos Ulberg, if Alex wins, if I'm Carlos Ulberg, if Yuri wins, you're gonna be fighting for the belt. Wait, is that how I was looking at this? I forget the angle I was at on here. But anyway, if you're Carlos Ulberg, this is your fight to watch, 100%. It kind of tells you where you're gonna end up if you are fighting for the belt or not. Because a finish in this one might give you the back door, might make you wait a little bit. Especially if it's Khalil knocking out Yuri. That says a lot, I feel like, because we just saw, Khalil give Pereira a run for his money, like I just said, in that title fight. I mean, I don't think they would be hesitant on a rematch, but I think Ulberg would be the first step if Pereira won. But if Ankalaev won and Yuri won, that's probably the matchup to make there. Yeah, no, I'm hoping this fight doesn't go the distance. I'm hoping we see some, some violence, see some high level striking. I mean, I'm just worried because we saw that 5-round fight. I think that was in Kansas City with Jamal Hill. I mean, that was a fight. Jamal Hill was talking a lot of shit, but that's what Jamal Hill does. He comes out and he kind of fights like Sean Strickland, just absolutely point fighting, being boring. Gets dropped in that fight. Yuri. If we're playing MMA math here, this man is just pure violence, and that's what I expect here. I expect him to just find a way, will himself into this fight. I'm probably gonna be sprinkling round props all day on this. I don't know what the props even look like yet. It's kind of early in the week, but I think a Yuri round 1 is probably gonna be pretty juiced. So I'm gonna wait till the later rounds. I think this will go at least 2 rounds. Maybe the over under is 1.5. I'll be looking at the over rounds in this one. I'm gonna be probably sprinkling late round KO props though, for sure, on Yuri. And then we're looking, next in line for a title shot after Carlos Ulberg. Hopefully, we'll talk about that on the main event.
Yeah.
All right, co-main event, the first title shot of the night, the UFC Bantamweight Championship. We got Merab Dvalishvili. I always say it wrong. Dvalishvili. Gonna call him Merab. Easy. Versus Corey Sandhagen. This is one where I want to be one way on it, but I feel like it's just gonna be the expected outcome as usual. But I will just give my pick on it because it's that's what you root for as a fan. You want to see something fun and entertaining. My pick is Corey Sandhagen. I've been a big fan of the guy. Merab has grown on me over the years, but Corey Sandhagen has always been he's been one of the guys that first got me into watching UFC. He's just got that crazy fight IQ, man. But when we talk about a guy like Merab, he's probably, if he's not already, he's making a case for bantamweight goat. He's right there. He's been super successful in the UFC, super successful in this division. He's been a great title holder. He's got a lot of defenses. His style is just infinite stamina, infinite grappling. Now he's kind of added a wrinkle to his game where now we see him pulling off submissions. We see that his striking is a bit more well rounded. He has the full toolbox, of course. He beat O'Malley in his last time out on the rematch by north-south choke, which is one of those very unordinary, uncommon chokes. But Sean O'Malley has never been in the fight with Merab. I mean, this is definitely Sean O'Malley's weakness is Merab and just this whole style of fighting. He dominated Umar and he out wrestled him. I mean, if we're playing MMA math, that is Corey's last loss in his last 5 here. So I mean, if we want to look at that angle, sure. But Merab's last loss was to none other than Washington's own Ricky Simone. I always gotta flex that. We got a guy from Washington that beat fucking Merab. But yeah, I think a win here for Merab. Just in my silly little brain, I feel like this is gonna set up something that has kind of been talked about a little bit with that super fight with Pantoja, but that also depends on how the Van and Pantoja fight goes. Because I mean, if Pantoja wins against Van, I mean he's basically cleared out that whole fucking division. What else is there for him to do? I think he would come up and challenge Merab for the belt. That'd be a really fun fight in my opinion. But yeah, I mean he could also hold out for the winner of Umar and Mario. I guess. I mean that'd be kind of a lame fight for Umar to get a rematch again. So we'll see. On the other side, we got Corey. He's one of the highest level striking guys, and he has probably one of the better fight IQs in this whole division. He also has some really high level grappling. We saw him fucking bust Figgy's knee with a knee slice. It was like a knee slicer. I don't know what kind of thing it was. He like rolled and just blew his knee out. But he said that that's what he was looking for. It was the way he was kind of setting it up. I'm like, man, that's just brutal. If that's how you're trying to set that up, just blow his fucking knee out. He's violent. I mean, he has a very nice personality. He's not a guy that I look at and I'm like, yeah, he's about to just shit talk you. He's just Mr. Nice Guy. And it's funny because like when that octagon closes, he is not Mr. Nice Guy. He's coming to take your fucking head off. He's got crazy knees, crazy elbows. He's violent. He just, he's dirty. I think he I don't know. The reason I'm on Corey here is because of just how well he can read into fights. He can read into his feints really well. He can figure out what he needs to do. He's good on the feet, he's good on the wrestling. And that's what he's gonna have to do here. As long as he can get up against Merab and not get stuck on his back, I think he's always gonna have a chance here. If he's elusive enough and he can work his way around this cage, pick and poke at Merab, take away some of his mobility. I mean, I think he's always going to have a knockout chance here. But this fight is probably 9 times out of 10 going to play out on the scorecards. It's probably going to be Merab. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Merab pulls this off and just fucking, wrestle fucks him and makes this boring. Because that's Merab's game, dude. I mean, it always has been. He's a decision machine. A win for Corey. Obviously, he becomes a champion. I think it also opens up the division a bit more. It would obviously mean Merab gets the rematch. I think 100% Merab's earned the rematch. if Corey did win here. It also invites, like we talked about, the winner of Umar and Mario to come up and probably get some new blood in the title talks. If Corey wins, and it probably also opens up a rematch for Piotr Jan because he has kind of been UFC's businessman. He just fought down against Marcus McGee when he didn't even need to. Um, so I think a win for Corey does a little bit more good for the bantamweight division. If you're on the side of Marab, you're kind of rooting for there'd be a super fight with Pantoja. I feel like that's my take in this one though. It's tough. This is a tough fight, 100%.
It is tough. And I will say I'm right there with you, dude. Corey Sandhagen, I've been a huge fan of Corey Sandhagen. I've always thought Corey Sandhagen was kind of like the dark horse of this division. In my personal opinion, I think Dana White and whoever else is a matchmaker at the UFC has been ducking Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley fighting. I think that is a fight that should have been made um, a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
in my honest opinion, just based off of
Corey would have
their
smoked him.
100%. And I
Corey would
think
have
I
killed him.
think if they were to fight now, Corey Sandhagen would absolutely starch Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
That is a fight that I see a lot of fans always talk about. Um, Obviously there are a lot of casual fans who are really big into Sean O'Malley, but in my personal opinion, I think Corey Sandhagen is Sean O'Malley without the persona,
Oh, 100%.
without that whole persona. Corey Sandhagen is him, and like I said, he's kind of like a dark horse in this division. And like you were talking about, this dude's fight IQ is phenomenal. I mean, he went to decision with Umar, who is a pretty dominant wrestler, and Corey Sandhagen was able to he wasn't able to like out grapple Umar, but I mean he was able to stay in there and hang with Umar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Sandhagen's transitions on the ground, uh they're real clean, especially against a dude like Umar. Um, I don't know, dude. I most definitely got Corey in this fight, but like you were talking about, we got a guy like Marab, and Marab is growing on me as well. He's a real funny guy. He's a fun champ. He
Can I touch?
he most yeah, he's most definitely a dude who can make you laugh outside of the UFC. He posted this picture of him standing next to this. He had his arm around this model, and this model had Corey Sandhagen's face uh, plastered on her,
Hell
and
no.
Marab was looking over to the left, and he was kind of giving a face like, ooh, I'd rather want that. And it was another model off to his left, but she had Peter Yan's face plastered on her.
Oh,
So
hell no.
Marab was pretty much just saying like I'd much rather be fighting Peter Yan in this fight.
Yeah.
But you know these guys like there's a lot of respect between these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hope Marab doesn't get too overconfident in this fight, though. That would suck to see, honestly, being such a huge Corey Sandhagen fan. I think this fight will be a lot closer than Marab thinks.
Yeah.
Because honestly, this is Marab's shot, or this is Corey Sandhagen's shot. That's what I'm at. This is Corey Sandhagen's shot right here. He has been looking for this shot for a long time. You know, lost to Aljo, um, lost to TJ Dillashaw, lost to Peter Yan, lost to Umar.
And all those things,
I,
all those guys have a thing in common. They're all
ex-
wrestlers.
exactly, they're all wrestlers. Um, and two of them were champs.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them were champs, or three of them. No, three of them were champs. TJ Dillashaw, Peter Yan, and Aljo.
Mm-hmm.
And Umar, I mean, Umar is just one of those dudes who he's very high wrestler. And I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov, look at who he's related to. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's all I could say about that. But yeah, man, this will be a really tough fight. I really hope Corey Sandhagen can get it done. Um, he really wants it. I follow him on social media and just seeing the way he trains and some of the stuff he's been posting. he posted this Instagram post, and it was just the caption was just and new and new and new and new and new and new, just like 1,000 times over. So I'm rooting for Corey Sandhagen here, and I think he can get it done.
I hope so.
Maybe by knockout, possibly.
Sheesh.
That would be such a huge prop.
I mean, he's got
Um,
he's got the striking capability. Like I said, he's got the knees up the middle, easy. As long as he can, stay off the fence and not get stuck on the fence where Marab can chain together different takedowns. That's my only worry here.
maybe he sees back in the O'Malley fight with Marab how O'Malley hurt Marab, in the gut.
Vulnerable to the
Maybe we
kicks,
see,
teeps.
yeah, maybe, yeah. You know, Corey's gonna be the longer dude here. See, that's another thing as well here, bro. That's another thing as well. Corey Sandhagen is gonna be the longer dude in this fight, but he also has his grappling in the back pocket. Sean O'Malley didn't have shit when it came to that.
Mm.
Sean O'Malley could sit there and be like, "Yeah, I know how to wrestle, yada yada yada." Umar, I don't think these guys are gonna. I don't think Marab is gonna be able to test my grappling. I think it's gonna be Umar. Remember when Sean O'Malley said that shit?
Yeah.
No, bro. Peter Yan was throwing you around. I mean,
Yeah.
that's so in this fight, Corey Sandhagen being the taller guy, longer reach, with that crazy striking ability and having that grappling in his background. Um I think Corey Sandhagen has the tools to get the job done, and I see him winning here.
Yeah, I just saw a thing on Twitter. Marab said that this fight's gonna be 90% striking. He wants to KO Corey. So, and if he's true to his word and this stays on the feet,
It's
Marab, it's not happening,
that's
brother.
Nope, that's one thing though. Marab does not lie, bro.
Yeah,
That is one thing I like about Marab. That's one reason why he's grown on me, is because he's a champion who he says what he's going to do,
yeah,
And I mean, if someone like Marab is saying that he's going to try to stand with Corey, I believe it.
I'm there for it.
I believe it. I'm 100% there for it. That'll be a fun fight if he
Yeah,
does that.
yeah. All right, let's move on to the main event. Before we get into it, though, guys, if you made it this far in the video, this is a bit of a longer video, but these are breakdowns that we try to go as much as far in depth as we can, so you guys feel comfortable with any side you're betting on, leaning towards. Obviously, these are our opinions, so if you don't trust our opinions or you don't trust our picks, that's okay. We'll understand. But we all have our own takes. Maybe a little bit of fan bias as well in here. So if there's anything you guys don't agree with or you do agree with, leave it in the comments. But also, leave a like. Give this video some love. We appreciate it. These are the pay-per-views. These are the big boy cards. These are the cards that are the obviously the UFC's gold mine. The pay-per-views. These are what everyone wants to talk about. So if we can get these out here, give this video as many likes as you can. Share it with your boys. We appreciate it. Let's get into it though. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2. I don't have a write-up for this because I think this is one that we can just talk about.
Oh man,
because
100%.
because I've probably watched UFC. I've definitely watched UFC longer than Pereira has been in the UFC. But I have watched him rise through. I watched him come in as a prospect from Glure Kickboxing. Hearing all these storylines around him and Israel Adesanya, how one day Alex Pereira is going to come up and fight Izzy, and Pereira kind of just dusted everyone in his path. His first fight in UFC was a decision win, if I remember right.
No,
Was it?
it was against that Andreas guy.
Where's that? He had a decision win kind of early in his. Oh, I'm talking about the
He
Bruno.
did.
Oh, I'm talking about the Bruno Silva fight. Yeah, he had that decision over Bruno Silva, which was a fight that I thought Pereira was going to go in and just smoke Bruno Silva. Because I mean that was like Bruno Silva on his way out of the UFC. We've seen Bruno Silva now. He's just I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. I think last time we saw him, he was on a stretcher on his way out.
That's okay. See, that's crazy, dude, that they keep a guy like that. I mean, to be fair, he was on a three-fight, finish streak
Mm-hmm.
in 2021, Bruno Silva, but then lost to Pereira, lost to GM3, beat Brad Tavares, and then lost 5 times after that.
Insane, insane. But yeah, I mean, this is a tough fight to pick. My pick is always going to be Alex Pereira whenever he's fighting. I'm a big fan of the guy. Uh, he's also probably won me most of my coin whenever I have bet on him, or he's been a lot of pieces that were part of big payouts. Uh, it's a tough angle here, man. Magomed Ankalaev just had his number in their first fight. And Pereira kind of is using that excuse of he wasn't fighting at his full ability, which I can believe to an extent because Pereira has had some pretty tough weight cuts. He usually looks pretty sunken on the scales. Um, and he was fighting down a weight class below this at one point, which I thought was crazy. But now he's up here at light heavyweight, where even now he's still cutting a shit ton of weight. I mean, he still walks around like around 240 pounds. So he's a massive dude. He's got God given power in his hands. He's we saw him dust Sean Strickland on a flash knockout, fucking left across the chin when Strickland's coming in with the knee up the middle like he always does with his little fucking weird little march. But Magomed Ankalaev, he's not a slouch either. I mean, he's from Dagestan, Russia. You would think that he's a heavy wrestler, and he kind of is, but he's also like all knockout power, man. He's got some really well-rounded boxing. He's got really great striking. He was able to kind of just live off of Pereira's kicks. He was able to block him. He was able to kind of figure out everything that Pereira did and just work off of it. And he pushed Pereira back. He was the pressure fighter here, which was kind of a shocker. And he won on the scorecards. I mean, this was a fight that I 100% thought was gonna be knockout for Pereira. I thought he was gonna get Ankalaev out of there because Ankalaev lost to Paul Craig on that fucking last second Hail Mary triangle choke. But you know, this fight it has to be Pereira or I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it. Just because, like, if Pereira loses, what's next for him? I would hate to see the star of the UFC, the guy that's fucking saved the promotion, fought back to back to back pay per views or whatever it was. He was just on an insane run, and we see him lose here. What's next for the guy? It's tough. It's tough to think about, but you know, if you're Carlos Ulberg, you're kind of rooting for Alex Pereira here. But if you're but you also, like I said, you also got to look at that Yuri and Khalil fight, because if Yuri wins, we might be getting a Magomed versus Yuri fight because Yuri is ahead of Olberg in the rankings, and it would be a pretty much better fight than the Reyes fight, as long as he gets a finish win. But yeah, give me Pereira, man. I'm all over Poetan on this one.
Chama. Give me Alex Pereira by knockout, brother. Um, I think this is going to be a grudge match. And honestly, dude, I believe Alex. I believe Alex was fighting at. I believe something was off with him during that fight. I'm gonna believe that excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna believe it. And the reason being is because, yeah, you look at Buddy's record, dude. He's been on a crazy streak. Crazy streak. You know? It's fair to say that, he was getting burnt out. Um I mean, especially coming off of one of his longest fights out of his last five with Khalil Roundtree, and then going. I understand there was a gap in between that October 5th to March 8th, but before that, all those fights, was before that Khalil Roundtree fight, all those fights were, within a year. Fighting Jerry 2 times and fighting Jamal Hill.
Yeah.
You know, even though he's 38 years old, that's Alex Pereira, bro. But I gotta go with Alex Pereira. Watching this guy do what he did, no one else has done that. Like I said, there's bad there's bad blood in this fight. Apologies.
There's bad
There's
blood.
bad blood in this fight. There's bad blood. 100%.
These guys used Translate to talk shit to each other.
Yeah, and they were standing like a foot away from each other.
Yeah, the PI.
I really hope Alex can get it done. If not, I mean, I see this fight just going to another decision for Ankalaev. But I gotta go with Peloton.
I expect these guys to go out and just go to fucking war, bro.
Yeah, 100%. I think Alex Pereira is going to be coming in there looking for some vengeance. And honestly, dude, I think if Alex Pereira wins this, especially if he wins by knockout, I see him retiring.
Really?
Yeah.
You like the retirement angle, huh?
Yeah. I see him possibly retiring.
Huh. I didn't really even think about that. I mean, he is older, like you're saying, he's 38.
I mean, if he stays, that's scary for him. They'd probably do Alex versus Jerry if Jerry wins. If Jerry wins that fight, yeah, just
Nah,
third
they
time.
gotta give it to Ulrich, bro.
Third time for his last fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Olberg versus anybody. See, that's another thing too. Is like you look at it, Olberg versus Ankalaev.
Poop. Poop.
Jerry versus Olberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex Pereira versus Jerry Prohaska, number 3 for Pereira's retirement fight. Oh my God, this is Jerry's last chance to revenge. Brother, that's huge. That would be absolutely bonkers. People would tune into that, because I mean, just look at their last 2 fights. I mean, that's the money fight, if anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, hopefully it does happen. Hopefully we do see a Peloton finish here again. Because I hate Ankalaev. I hate the shit that he says.
Big Onk time.
Shit that he says, bro. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Ankalaev, he's a scary dude. I saw him fucking knock out Johnny Walker. That shit was insane, bro.
Cartoon ass knockout.
Yeah, fucking Johnny Walker fucking looking up to Ankalaev, and fucking Ankalaev just delivered that nasty fucking uppercut, laid him out. So yeah, Ankalaev is terrifying, bro. But
so is Peloton.
I got Alex Pereira shirt in my closet, so I don't got no big Onk shirt.
Yeah, big Onk time. Gonna get that shirt, bro.
So yeah, give me Alex Pereira, and I think Alex Pereira is gonna be looking for that knockout, and I think he's gonna be ready for it this time. So give me Alex Pereira by that fucking dangerous left hook.
Yeah,
fucking knockout.
If Ankalaev wins, Z said that he's gonna shave his mustache and just rock the Dagestani beard. So
yeah, for Vancouver.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look at it, if you click on Ankalaev's name, he does have like a subtle little mustache.
Got the little shadow.
So we'll just trim it down to some peach fuzz.
Dude.
And keep the chin strap.
Hell yeah, the Dagestani chin strap. But guys, this video is getting pretty long, so we're gonna save you some of the time. We appreciate you guys if you stayed this long. It's definitely our longest video on the channel, but this one has a lot of meat, has a lot of good fights, has a lot of things that will impact the future of the UFC's divisions, all across the board, women's and men's divisions. Yeah, I'm excited. 320 is going to be probably one of the better cards of the year. or at least one of the more impactful ones, because like I said, it's going to affect a lot of things. Yeah, I'm hoping there's no more pullouts. We already got a pullout. I mean, I'm glad it's early in the week. You know, they could get Goodyear on the card again with another guy. They said they had a backup fighter, but the backup fighter wasn't cleared. So now they're just they're calling names. They're trying to find somebody. Hopefully they find somebody who's not a can. I want to see Gautier get a good fight. But yeah, either way, guys, we appreciate you guys for sticking around as always.
Yep.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So this is our Tuesday show. We're gonna give you guys a Friday show. Gonna give you guys a lot of different angles, a lot of different bets. It's a UFC pay per view, which means what, Z? What do you do with pay per views?
Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I think I'm gonna hold off on that until we get to Vancouver, since we are going to
You're
Vancouver.
talking about the Copperley, right?
Yep, I am
Okay,
talking about
okay.
the
That's what I
Copperlay.
was building up to.
That is what we do. That is what we do over here. Is that we have a bunch of uh, let's call it the scrap metal, scrap, scrap,
The
scrap
stuff.
play, the scrap play. We take some stuff, we go to the junkyard, we scrap it, and because we just take some of the shit that we get from work,
Mhm.
we go and we scrap it, and whatever that scrap money that we get, we go and we slap it on some parlay, and we like to build that up for that portion of
Helping,
time
yeah.
between UFC events, especially the pay-per-views.
Mm.
And September, we had no pay-per-views.
Kind of
So we
crazy.
have a solid like month and a half of saving up some scrap. So honestly, I am gonna take that to Vancouver. As much as I would love to slap this on 320, I'm gonna take that to Vancouver, and we're gonna have some fun up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So
gamble.
100%. But yeah, like Joe said, if you stuck around this long, watch this video, and I appreciate you. We appreciate you, and thank you.
Much
Share
love.
this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Stay cozy.
Peace. Stay cozy.